2024 had a lot of backlash.
This was a weak-ass fucking finale of Coachella. 5 years in the making, son.
Doja Cat, Tyler, the Creator, Lana Del Rey. No doubt, with arguably the best performance maybe the best performance or one of the best performances of the entire weekend. I thought Doja Cat and Tyler, the Creator, was super sick.
Boy, that's my current at 0, that's 68, 2.1, they don't go! We are goals. Who are you? And where are those?
Lana Del Rey was a little bit boring.
They write that I'm happy, they know that I'm not, but at best they can see I'm not sad.
But I think overall it's not a good choice to end the festival. I think they should have had somebody playing after her, kind of how like they did Blackpink last year. You had Blackpink and then Calvin Harris played after. You could probably have John Summit play after Lana Del Rey or something. You gotta end Coachella on a high note. I think you can't just end it on that, whatever that was, you know. 2024 was also the year that Coachella expanded the Sahara tent. They made it bigger. Also a bigger do-lab. And a brand new stage for the first time since like 2018 or 2019 when they added the Sonora stage. They just added the Quasar stage with new technology. They had to invest in resources into bringing this experience to the people. So 2024, you know, it was like a first trial of so many different things that Coachella is doing. Now they know the logistics of walking from one stage to the next. They know the problems that the Quasar had, the problems that the Sahara had, the problems that the new Do-Lab had. They have all the data tracking all our phones through the app, how many people are watching what sets and how the crowd reacted. They also do pay attention online, I think. They do some research and talk to the fan base is doing. So what artists could we expect for Coachella 2025?
What's something you've always wanted to try, but you've been too scared to do?
Oh, Coachella.
Selling out, making $1 billion, stadium, sold out, tour all over the world, and that is Taylor Swift. You can't escape those rumors. You can't escape the fact that she has never played the biggest festival in the world. Does she need the money? No, she doesn't need the money. She's making more money than Coachella at this point, but I feel like every artist needs their Coachella moment. Of course, if she's on the festival lineup, the tickets are gonna sell out. They're gonna sell out fast. The resellers are gonna make a lot of money this year. Now, Dua Lipa was rumored at one point to be the headliner for Coachella 2024. There was some timing issues because her album was not going to be ready on time. And just a little side note about Coachella, why it's important as a music festival. The amount of attention that Coachella gets for 2 weekends, the performance that gets live streamed on YouTube. These artists are able to promote new songs, promote world tours. And even give people a sneak peek into what the tour is going to look like. Dua Lipa, because of timing issues with her music, she couldn't perform at Coachella, so I feel like Coachella is going to pursue her again. The next one is Olivia Rodrigo. She came out as a guest performer for No Doubt. The speculations began like, oh, it's Olivia Rodrigo next up. She's at that level of like Billie Eilish, the new generation of fans that go to the festival. She's on the headlining spot. I already could see people complaining about it. Next we have is Travis Scott, and I've been saying Travis Scott for the last 2 years. Still hasn't happened. He was one of the headliners that was scheduled for Coachella 2020. And in Coachella 2020, Frank Ocean was the other headliner. He came back in 2023 and became a headliner. That was a whole other mess. And then Rage Against the Machine, who was the third headliner for 2020, they actually retired from music forever. But Travis Scott, in the contrary, he dropped Utopia, which was his most anticipated album last year. He went on this stadium tour, selling out 100,000 seat stadiums. He's gonna do a European stadium tour, which is the second biggest stadium tour in the history of hip hop behind Eminem. He was booked to be the headliner in 2020, has not came back.
Karol G sea la primera artista latina mujer en hacer una gira de estadios a nivel global es muy loco.
The first Latina to ever headline Coachella, it's gonna be Karol G. I know she was just at Coachella 2022. A new album last year, went on this tour. She brought a festival to Colombia. She said she was inspired by Coachella, her home country, and I thought it was pretty cool. She would be so good. She was one of the best sets at Coachella 2022. I'm gonna throw it out there, 50 Cent. Imagine a 50 Cent Coachella headlining set. Now don't click off this video. 50 Cent would be so dope. And he came out during DJ Snake on weekend 2. I actually was right there in the artist pass section and I lost my camera on Sunday, but yeah, we don't know. I'm still hoping one day I get my camera back. I think 50 Cent will be sick. He's never played at Coachella ever. Even when he was blowing up, nothing, like hip hop wasn't even allowed back then. We're gonna bring out Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent. As returning to the desert, The Strokes. They have not been back since 2011. I know Julian Casablancas came back as a soloist, I think 2014, 2015, but my other one would be Odessa returning to the desert. I don't know how big Odessa is to a general audience, but Odessa right now is finishing the last goodbye tour. One of the best shows I've ever seen. It's just like, it's EDM with live instruments. And the last time Odessa was at Coachella was in 2018. They played at like 9 p.m. right before Eminem at the main stage. Drone show, and like I wasn't there for that performance. I think I was at the Sahara. I didn't even know Odessa at the time. But sometimes I hate like finding out about artists in the years after Coachella. Then it's like, I wish I was a fan of that artist then. Like, I know all the songs now. We also have Rihanna. She had a couple kids with A$AP Rocky, and hopefully this is the return for her to come back to music, to perform at Coachella for the very first time. She was at Coachella 2016. As a guest performer for Calvin Harris. Artists that I see coming to Coachella that are not headliners. I think next year we're gonna see Lil Nas X, Tyla, Pink Pantress, Abby Carter, who just won American Idol from the city of Indio. Representing local artists. I just see her performing at Coachella. Like, just has Coachella written all over.
Thank you so much, City of India. Thank you.
Other Roddy Ricch was also scheduled for Coachella 2020, never came back. Maybe Jack Harlow. I'm surprised Jack Harlow has not been coming to Coachella already. An artist that I'm surprised wasn't at Coachella 2024 was Tizo Touchdown, and I could see him coming to Coachella 2025. He came out as a guest performer during Doja Cat. Fade is number one. Like, if I could bet on anybody, it's gonna be Fade coming to Coachella. Right now he's doing the Ferchocalypsis tour. Got to see him here at Acrisure Arena. It's almost, I feel like that's a lock coming to Coachella next year. He's actually dating Karol G too. Maybe she headlines and then he could be sub-headliner. That would be pretty cool. Arcángel. So Arcángel was a guest performer in 2023 during Bad Bunny. He was a guest performer in 2024 during Peso Pluma, Weekend 1. Deserves a shot. Why isn't he booked to perform at Coachella? So Arcángel, somebody I could see coming to Coachella. Another one is Raul Alejandro. So Raul Alejandro had a tour last year. It wasn't doing so well in sales. He had to cancel the tour because he got hurt. So Raul Alejandro just played at Sueños Festival in Chicago. I could see him at Coachella next year. Grupo Frontera coming to Coachella next year. I think they're going to be at Coachella next year. They were a guest performer during Bad Bunny's Weekend 2 set.
Coachella. Please welcome Grupo Frontera.
Unexpected, and they just had them playing at the main stage during Bad Bunny set, like so big for them, for Mexican music. And Grupo Frontera, their first album was probably one of the best albums of last year. They just dropped their second album. They performed A Bésame Mucho in Texas. There are other festivals. They're touring right now. They dropped their second album. I think Grupo Frontera coming to Coachella next year is going to be sick. Summer Walker. I think Summer Walker coming to Coachella as well.
What you in a rush for? Is you trying to meet Jamaica, darling?
Fuerza Regida. So Fuerza Regida, I was predicting that they were going to come to Coachella 2024. They didn't go to Coachella 2024. They were at Camp Flogna back in December at Dodger Stadium. They were in the Camp Flogna set. Fuerza Regida, they're doing music festivals. They're dropping a new tour that they're actually starting right now. But Fuerza Regida is one of the biggest names in Regional Mexicano right now. They're not as big as Peso Pluma, but they're pretty big. So like Grupo Firme play like a 7. I think they're like at that range. Next up, I have El Javi. So El Javi is the fastest growing Mexican artist in the world right now. La Diabla was the first Mexican song to chart #1 on Billboards without a feature. I think he's 19 years old, one of the biggest rising stars. I think he'll be at Coachella next year. Another Latin artist, we have Nicki Nicole returning to Coachella. She was here at Coachella 2022. She performed at the Sonora tent. So Nicki Nicole, 2 years later, she's dropped new music. Rufus the Soul, like I was saying, returning to the desert, maybe a headliner, but if they're not a headliner, maybe they're going to be a sub-headliner next year. They are going to be at Portola Fest, and Rufus the Soul, they haven't been back since 2022 or 2019. I don't remember what year they came. Dioro has been playing so many festivals, collabing with so many different artists. Bringing EDM to a Mexican audience is like completely different. I think Dioro will be sick. He hasn't been to Coachella in a while. It's perfect timing. Seeing just like the comments and what people are saying on Twitter and on Reddit, everyone's pointing out to New Jeans coming to Coachella next year, and also Aespa, I hope I'm saying these names right. They're poised to come to Coachella next year, as well as Lisa, part of Blackpink, coming to Coachella as a soloist. Aespa, New Jeans, and maybe Lisa from Blackpink. This is your first time coming across my channel. My name's Angel. I've been going to Coachella since 2009. And you know, it's like my favorite festival in the world. I have like hundreds of videos about Coachella on this channel, from performances, tips, how-tos, and we'll be updating you guys with new Coachella content throughout the year. Welcome to my channel. My name's Angel. I'll see you guys at Coachella next year.